The UK Border Agency and the High Commission work in partnership with the commercial organization, VFS.
That's right.
VFS receives applications and fingerprints the students.
That's right.
And the border agencies vets and processes the applications.
That's right.
But Borders is an agency under the Home Ministry,
That's right.
not under FCO.
That's right.
So they don't have to take instructions from you.
They don't have to take instructions from us, that's correct. It was previously, it was an agency which was co-owned by the Foreign Office and by the Home Office. There have recently been changes in government which has placed that agency fully within the Home Office, you're right.
You were posted here in July 2006.
Yes, I was.
Did you see this coming when you came here, that this is going to be the case?
No, I don't think I did. It wasn't something that was on our radar at that stage. I was aware that there were issues around overstaying. I was aware that we had some concerns about Malaysians, but at that stage we hadn't properly documented the matter, and we hadn't really investigated what the nature of the problem was. It was only last year that we started doing that more effectively, and we still have more work to do, and part of our ambition for the next few months is actually to do a detailed analysis to try and understand more fully than we do at present what the nature of the problem is. We're actually going to go out into various parts of Malaysia, look at what's happening, why people are getting advice to go to the UK when they are obviously not intending just to visit, but they're actually intending to work inappropriately, what travel agents are doing. We have evidence that there are people facilitating travel, and we want to get to the bottom of that and tackle those issues at the roots, so that instead of coming to the UK and being turned away, or coming to the UK and overstaying, they actually don't go to the UK in the first place, because we don't accept that those are legitimate travellers, legitimate visitors to the UK. So we're trying to understand more clearly than we do what the nature of the problem is, and then that will help us to tackle the problem more effectively. So that's part of an ongoing process. But no, I think it's fair comment that 2 years ago we hadn't seen this coming. There was a steady upward trend, review of the figures, and then there was formal notice given to the Malaysian government in July of this year that Malaysia was a country of concern. So that was in July. Stage 3 of the test of the process started in July, and we told the Malaysian government that there would be a 6-month period during which we would want to work with them to understand better what the nature of the problem was and to reduce the risk of overstaying, of abuse of the system. And I must say that the response from the Malaysian government was very positive, very constructive. There was an immediate acknowledgement that this problem did exist. It may not be widespread, and there are not huge numbers of Malaysians overstaying, but they're sufficient to be a matter of concern to us. And I can give you some figures later on. So the Malaysian authorities recognized that there were legitimate concerns, and they immediately agreed to work with us to develop, for example, a memorandum of understanding so that we could work more closely together to exchange information. They agreed to work with us to look, for example, at the visas and arrival issue here in Malaysia, which was of some concern to us. They're looking to work with us to manage the security arrangements at the airport. KLIA is an airport where many of the people coming to the UK pass through, and we've identified, for example, that people are going through KLIA to come to the UK who started off in places like South Africa or the Caribbean. Well, why would you do that if there wasn't some sort of problem, some weakness here in Malaysia? So we're working with the Malaysian authorities to address these issues, and we have 6 months within which to do that, and then we will review the situation at the end of the 6-month period and decide whether we think that the level of collaboration has been good, whether the risks are reduced sufficiently for us to remove Malaysia from what's been described here in the press as our watch list. And if we are satisfied that all is well, then a decision will be taken not to impose a visa regime. If we remain concerned, if we think that the risks are the same or greater, then we would impose a regime. We don't want to take that step. It's not a step that we would take lightly. It's not a step we would take with any great enthusiasm. But this is an issue of concern to the UK public, to British ministers, and we have to take it seriously.